I'm going to showcase the best game user settings as well as explain what each one does. Hopefully after this video you'll get a really nice FPS boost and much lower input delay. If the video helps, please let me know by dropping a like and subscribing for more. Alright, so to access the game user settings file, press the Windows key and R. This will then open up a run box. Just type in this command right here. From there you should find the Fortnite game folder, go into saved, go into config, go into Windows client, and there you have your game user settings file. Now before you do enter this, you want to ensure that read-only is unchecked in its properties, and once you've done that you can enter it. Once opened, it should look something like this, where you can see a bunch of different commands. However, for the sake of this video, I've put all of my commands in a separate program that's Notepad++, so I can take advantage of this feature where I can leave comments and sort of highlight what each notable setting does to help explain each one better. If you do want to find a specific command, you can press Ctrl F, and this will open up a search bar where you can find that command and then edit it. Starting off with the first command, we've got motion blur, which you guys should know to turn off as you'll get much clearer visuals during movement. Base show grass, this is actually an outdated command that no longer functions in the current version of the game. GPU clash debugging, this is basically a GPU monitoring overlay which is unnecessary unless you need like debugging stuff. Latency tweak settings, now I have the first one set to true and then I've got the second one set to like on or 1, as I found this as the best middle ground. Number 2 equals a more aggressive setting, whereas 0 turns it off, but this is something that you should try on your specific PC and see which one feels better. DLSS quality settings, I've got this disabled. I am on Nvidia, so I do disregard the AMD command. For the ray tracing settings, I have these both disabled, the nanite as well, and I've got all of the quality settings set to off, or 0 rather. Energy saving modes, I've got both of these turned off, so they're both on false. Display gamma, this is basically the brightness setting, and I leave this on default this season, but this is personal preference. Scrolling down from there, you should find a setting called disable mouse acceleration, and whatever you have this value set to, so true or false, it doesn't matter, because an Epic Games employee confirmed that this is for Mac systems only, and it has absolutely no impact on PC or rather Windows. Moving on from that though, if you scroll down, you should find the low latency input setting, which is very important to have on true, as this keeps your input delay low. You've also got the VSync setting, which I highly recommend having this set to false in order to reduce input lag. And then just down from there, we've got the resolution settings. Now I am using a 1440p monitor, so that's why my res looks like this. Obviously there's more pixels with that monitor, hence why it's higher. If you want a stretched resolution, by the way, I've got a full guide on screen, or if you know how to do it already, I've got some recommendations. So for a lower tier PC, I recommend any of these three. For a medium end PC, I recommend these resolutions. And then for a high end PC, I recommend either of these resolutions. Just down from that, we've got the full screen mode. 0, I'm pretty sure, puts it in full screen, 1 puts it in windowed full screen, and then 2 just puts it in windowed. You've also got audio quality level below that, which I recommend highly setting to high, which is 0. I only recommend putting it to low if you've got a really old PC that's like desperate for any sort of FPS it can. And if you go down a bit further, you've got scalability groups. Now for these, you've got the 3D resolution, which has the best visibility at 100%, which is the default one. However, if you are desperate for FPS, you can lower this slightly. The quality will massively reduce. It'll get really pixelated the lower you go down. Just below that though, we've got view distance, and yes, you can set this to 0 or the lowest if you need more FPS, but I myself like to set this to a farther range as I like to see things at a further distance. For the rest of the settings though, it's important that you have these set to the lowest to get the most FPS. Then finally at the bottom, we've got the rendering mode settings. You've got DirectX 11 or performance mode, both of those are technically DirectX 11, or you've got DirectX 12, and you can see that my configuration is on performance mode. That's what it looks like. Once you guys have configured your settings though, you can head to the top where it says file, you can click on save, and once you have saved that file, to prevent Fortnite from actually changing these, you can go into the properties and you can click the read only box. But do be warned, while this is checked, you will not be able to change the settings in game. It just won't let you save them at all. So if you do want to change the settings in game, you do need to unselect this. But I myself, I want to save my game user settings files, so I'm going to click apply and press OK. And that right there has been the best game user settings that you should use in Chapter 2 Remix. Before you go, feel free to check out any of my other videos on screen right now.